this show has given me a lot. I actually have a streak of uploads. That's never happened before. So today we'll be talking about the comics for your favorite neighborhood Spider-Man. Um, the day before it comes out. um, but yeah, so there's 2 issues so far. Let's get a taste of how things are here. I've heard a few things that don't sound particularly great. Swallow for a second there, but yeah, let's without further ado, let's go. I'll tell you how I feel about it after we're done. See you then. Is that Mountain Marco? No way. People know he got bitten by a spider. And then Spider-Man shows up. No freaking way. I was right. Sorry, I just had to react to that. I'm very normal about obscure characters. All right. So, let's talk about some little things that I noticed in that first issue of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which are also very very normal things to point out. Now, Aunt May was buying a lot of food. Now, how could that be possible? Unless you're trying to make a statement that the Parkers aren't poor in this universe. Like, what are we doing here? What's going on here? And another totally normal point. Nico's foster mother is a woman called Susan O'Hara. Now, there's another person that goes by the name O'Hara that's Spider-Man related. I don't know. Maybe in the future they are messing with some multiverse stuff here. Who's to know? Who's to know? But yeah, she has a foster mother called that Susan O'Hara, like I mentioned. Which does that mean no runaways stuff? I mean, I guess I don't really expect them to go dive into runaway stuff and we're focusing on Spider-Man here, but so it'd probably just be Nico, like in her own setting. Though I'm gonna assume that she's gonna be Sister Grimm at some point. So I got people talking, acting like modern teenagers. So what's the excuse here? What is this deuces like? There is no excuse for that. Peter has no excuse, and no, his parents. That Aunt May, Uncle Ben weren't even that old. There's no, so there won't be any like generational. There shouldn't be much of a generational like gap there. I just want to interject on this point I'm trying to make here. It's not guaranteed that having guardians that are of an older generation than most other guardians is gonna make you disconnected with other kids. But I mean, it could potentially factor in, but not guaranteed. Like I said, on the topic of Uncle Ben, yeah, he's not a part of this origin. He's not involved. He's dead. He's dead already. That's what I knew about before. That was what I was talking about. Me knowing about, hearing about. So, boy, another adaptation, kind of like dragging his importance away. We had MCU Spider-Man. He's out of there. Was he there to begin with at some point? But then, like, No Way Home, like he didn't even say the famous line that he never actually said in the first place. I mean, I'll get to that point in a little bit. He never gets brought up in name. I don't even think so. There's a suitcase. But yeah, point I was trying to get to here. It's like almost like counterbalancing where they further increased the importance of Uncle Ben, and now they're going the opposite way, because before then he never even said that line. He never said that line in the comics, but then boom, they retconned him years later to have said that, and then they also made him his like influence on Peter be greater in the comics. Yeah, it became solidified. Most people think that he was the progenitor of that. Oh boy, now we may be facing up to a future where like lots of people like think Ben who? Oh, that guy that died. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna come like that. I think Spider-Man's popularity like exploded in the general public from like stuff like Raimi making him so important. Makes it sound like I hate Uncle Ben. How dare you? How dare you? So yeah, Midtown. I talked a bit about this in the featurette. Featurette? No, the clip video. Whatever. So this Midtown appears to be a combination of the MCU and its original, as in, it's named. It's Midtown High, it's always been. But then it also seems to be a prestigious school, just like it was in the MCU. That was a science academy or something. The funny like contrast here, where I'm like, like, oh wow, look, obscure '60s character. Here I can't even, and I never even internalized the knowledge of like, oh, like this specific thing in the MCU. So yeah, we got Silvermane, the big mafioso, the big boy. It's cool to see him like take the center stage here. I mean, yeah, he's like supposed to be the big shot. You got Silvermane in here with a Silvermane. I wonder if they'll ever do the life fragment stuff. That the long running Spider-Man arc, the longest running Spider-Man arc, the life tablet. I wonder if we'll also get him like we get Robo Terminator Silvermane as well. Boy, I didn't even talk about. I went right into my like the things I had noted down, the things that I noticed. But yeah, I never talked about how I felt like reading this. So yeah, it had a slow start. I wasn't even sure if I was even gonna be like super engaged with it. But then it got to the action, and then my interest peaked a lot. I for a second there I was like feeling like, oh boy, I don't know if I'm even gonna bother reading issue 2. But yeah, it like once it hit that climax, it makes me feel like I'm like, oh, I only care about action. But I mean, like even past that, it's like it finally hooked me at that point. Is what I'm trying to say. And the big thing, Captain America. Captain America inspiration. I gotta love it. You gotta love it. I'm a sucker for it. You know, MCU kind of like put him down this Iron Man fan like pipeline. That's not how he was. That's not how he ever was. It's not a bad thing to have him like to admire Iron Man to some extent. But I mean, Captain America should always be like. in my opinion, should always be like the guy to Peter, not Iron Man. So yeah, I think that's all there is to say about that. Issue 1. Yeah. Man Mountain Marco. Just had to say that again. I just saw a big guy like holstering me up, like trying to throw him, and I was like, Man Mountain Marco, right? Like a shot in the dark. I was right. That would generally just seem like I'm like some big Man Mountain Marco fan. But you know, I love it. The enforcers, right? The enforcers, I got them. And you know, if they got Man Mountain Marco here, I have full trust that they're gonna be like their normal selves here. Like, do I trust them enough to make them like all? I mean, like, surely, like I mean, they said about the '60s aesthetic. I mean, the way that things look, but like, come on, classic Enforcers would be great. Though. I don't know. We really get Fontana with the lasso. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Time for issue 2 because I was gonna make it a separate video, but now I feel like I'd be committing myself to reading the rest of these. See you there. I was worried about nothing. The Enforcers are here and they're done with justice. They're done as they always were done in the comics, and they're competent despite how silly they are. That's how it should be. Especially, well, particularly at the start of his career. It's great to see. Not so great to see like behind me, like in front of me, hyping up Amazing Spider-Man. Forget about that, you know. We're talking about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Who says party people? Who says that? This was said by a teenage boy. We're going back and forth here. Like, are we modern day or we're not? And I like the web mask that he wears there. The web like mask. It's not really a web yet. He doesn't have that technology. He hasn't invented that yet. You see it. You see it in like clips and trailer. Like he has this very bulky system here with some like tanks in the back. I suppose it's all new, but it's like funny how some adaptions like dumb him down. Like there's more of a progression here, and then I guess a similar other thing that adaptions do is where people, in fact this one does it as well, they earn their first costume, their iconic costume, because in the case of Daredevil, he doesn't get yellow until She-Hulk, and he's already pretty established by then. But yeah, on the other hand, the web pass, cool, but why is he wearing his only set of clothes? Like, he established that's all he had there. Well, apparently not, because then he wears other clothes then too. I did read that right. He's here at a wrestling competition, and he's wearing a mask and his normal clothes. Yeah, more on that. The wrestling competition. There's a bit of a Raimi throwback there. The guy gets it wrong. The commentator gets it wrong. I mean, that was the announcer this time. It's a commentator, but whatever. He goes for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man as his introduction, his intro, the introductory line that the commentator is supposed to say when introducing him. The commentator instead hits him with the 60s theme song line. Here comes the Spider-Man. He goes for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man line because he wants to be seen as like, he wants to play the heroic type wrestler role, though his outfit looks creepy. Like, yeah, he's supposed to be like the kind that people cheer for, like, yeah, take down the bad guy. But his outfit looks creepy. It wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work. Seems like this Peter grew up with wrestling, or maybe he studied it beforehand. Does this for the prize money there, and wow, this Spider-Man actually had an account this time. He has an account set up this time for all that. So yeah, he has that. I wonder how long that's gonna last. Maybe for a little while, I don't know. Maybe he'll actually make money with Spider-Man. I wonder if that's traceable. He's not like completely like He's not just gonna set up like put all his identifying information in his account or whatever. Like heck, maybe he has like a crypto wallet. Yeah, unfortunately, the preparedness came at the cost of a cool Crusher Hogan. I this guy's a jerk. The original Hulk Hogan. The original Hulk Hogan. The original Crusher Hogan was not a jerk. He was cool. Like I said, cool. I know he deserves what happens to him in this issue. he ends up where he belongs. No, you're ruining the rep of the original, the goat. You're ruining the rep of the original here. And yeah, without being too specific here, they they really sped run like a very common Spider-Man reference here. I swear they're going for the Guinness World Record there. I like how he's like all really worried about being too rough with bad guys here, but I'm sure you all remember he threw a brick at a teenage boy. Like, make up your mind. It's like, no, some people deserve it. This teenage boy, he deserves it. Like, how dare he how dare he bully this other kid? You got a brick. Yeah, more Midtown High talk here. Just constantly, but I feel like I'm the only person here. Maybe I don't know, like making this big deal about Midtown High. Yeah, it's not Midtown High here. Yeah, not anymore. He's not going there. The school's all like it's been destroyed. He goes to a place called Rockford T. Bales High School. It's a high school named after, I assume, this guy called Rockford T. Bales. I wonder who he was. Wonder if he was significant. Wonder if his history is all like paved in a golden road and nothing questionable there. I mean, yeah, who knows? Maybe he was a mutant hater or something. Maybe he hated mutants. But yeah, the commentator that got his name wrong, how dare he? Intro wrong. Goes through school, and well, he's also a jerk too. Trust fund type kid. But he doesn't recognize his clothes and his build. Like, okay, I guess we're going full Superman here, and we have Nico here being an absolute savage in this issue. We see the deepening of the friendship between him and her and Peter here. I was thinking of Peter first. All I think about is Spider-Man, I guess. It was all right, you know. I wonder if the show will measure up. Let's see. Yeah, changes happen. Although, yeah, I still wish that they, do more stuff with a younger Spider. Well, not young. I didn't mean to say younger. An older Spider-Man, like college era Spider-Man. That one of his most significant errors, where most of his big stories happen, and that and marriage era, the marriage saga. That sounds like One Night in Vegas. I mean, like the symbiote saga is kind of like a One Night in Vegas type story. This is very long. I talk about Spider-Man for very long. That's it. I love the fact that I have to edit all of this all in like one day, one night. It's night right now too. Yeah, I will at least do at least have the courtesy to at least talk about episode 1 of the show that I keep talking about and I'll be like, well, that's it, I'm gone. I was kind of like that with X-Men. Whoops. X-Men 97. I was I was supposed to, but then yeah, that I never got around to recording reactions to that. Screw it, I'll mention it here. I liked it more than I thought it would. Though I didn't get the nostalgia excitement boost that I had beforehand. It was all right. The animation was the animation was good. I was worried about that. And why am I doing an X-Men review at the tail end of this? Uh, yeah, season 2, that'd be great. Episode 1 of this, I don't know, maybe it'll be okay. But once again, yeah, it's my standards are kind of high here. It's like, college era, no college era, no adult Spider-Man stuff. I said I wasn't going to talk a lot at the end of the year, but I did. That's I'm done. Bye.